Very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today I am here in Belgavi with two interesting guests, Mr. Sunny C. Ahuja, Joint Managing Director, Gokul Ferrocast Private Limited, Mr. Nitin B. Lande, Joint Managing Director, Gokul Ferrocast Private Limited. It's good to meet you, gentlemen, here at your facility in Belgavi. And thank you for hosting Meshmix Media at your beautiful facility. To start our discussion, Sunny ji, uh, can you let our readers know that how you started your company, the journey, and the overall growth of the company since its inception?
Right. So the company was started by both of us together. We are true Belgamites, staying in Belgaum for a long time. Although I traveled outside India and across India for my education and my job as well initially.
Okay.
But later on, I came back to Belgaum to be an entrepreneur, which was always there within me.
Okay.
So me and Nitin actually were a part of another business earlier. So we invested in Gokul Ferrocast in 2011.
Okay.
So which it's been 13 years now.
Okay.
So because Belgaum already had an ecosystem of the foundry industry.
Yes.
And we wanted to get into the manufacturing space, which seemed like the future in India. So that's the reason we invested about 13 years back.
Okay.
And it has been a very, very interesting journey. I mean, it's a long, interesting journey that we have had so far. Of course, initially, in any business, we had faced the hurdles, some failures, some setbacks, but we took over the challenge. The initial 5 years were a real uphill task for us.
Okay.
But once we settled down, I mean, the last 8 years, especially after the government has stabilized and there are so many new infrastructure projects coming in,
Okay.
it has been a very, very smooth and a enriching ride.
Okay.
So I feel fortunate enough that the initial 5 years we had to see those struggles, because I believe that as a businessman, unless you see those failures and those setbacks,
Yes.
you actually don't learn. I mean, failure teaches you more than what
Correct.
success really does. So, I mean, this has been a good 12-year journey. And talking about our growth, I mean, initially, our plant capacity is about 600 metric tons per month.
Okay.
So, initially, like I said, during the initial phase, we just were utilizing about 30% of our capacity.
Yes.
But for the last 6 years, we have been running 24 hours, 3 shifts in a day, without any stoppage, no holidays. Sometimes we have to work overtime, and we have been completely packed with orders.
Okay.
So a fulfilling journey for the last 5 years, especially.
Okay.
And now, since we have seen such a positive sign, we are currently in the mode of expansion, and we are coming up with a high pressure molding line,
Okay.
which is going to increase the capacity 3x.
Okay.
So it's good. It's getting commissioned now and will be operational from next month onwards.
Oh, that's great to know. And Sunny ji, what sort of products you make here in the facility, and what sort of industries you target, or who are your customers? Which industries, if you don't want to name customers, at least which industry your products is used?
So basically, we are casting manufacturers with machining. So we provide finished products to OEMs, which actually make the assemblies for various kind of engineering industries. So we currently supplying to the top 2 truck manufacturers in India. We are supplying to a top assembly component manufacturer for tractors in India.
Correct.
We are also supplying to a company which is mostly into automotive transmissions and off-highway vehicles.
Okay.
It's a US-based company, and it has plants around the globe with 4 plants in India.
Okay.
So they are one of the major customers to whom we supply a lot of off-highway components.
Okay.
We have also recently started supplying to them a component which is used in a buggy, which is an electrical vehicle.
Okay.
So that's a flagship product currently for a company which we are supplying to this esteemed customer for us.
Okay.
So basically, we are mostly into ferrous castings, along with a machining unit. So we finish the components. So we are supplying finished components to all these OEMs. So most of the customers that we have are OEMs, which are directly fit to supply. Yeah.
And Nitin ji, quality is something which is very important in manufacturing industry. And since your products are used for global customers, and precision is something has been important, marker for any product. So how you are managing that? The products which are going out of your facility is top notch for Indian customers as well as the customers, for the globe, sir.
So currently we are supplying to quite a few OEs in India, and every customers, whichever, they ask for the components, definitely it's our job to give them the best. And currently we are supplying quite a few parts with 0 ppm.
Yes.
And for this, what is really required is to have a wonderful processes at our end. And the quality product is basically a byproduct of these processes.
Yes.
So currently our focus is to have a technological advancement in our processes as well, so that we get a right product at every stage. The same products are being basically inspected through quite a good, recent good machines actually. There are CMM machines, there are autocorrect, auto offset machines.
Okay.
And by which we basically check the accuracy of this part and ensure that no part is basically found defective at any stage.
Okay.
And then it is basically sent to the customers.
Okay. And technology is something, Saniji, which is changing very fast globally. So how do you make sure you adopt technologies, or what sort of investments you do so that your factories, your products are for the global standard? So how do you make sure that technologically your company is up to the mark?
See, in terms of technology, the world is digital nowadays.
Yes.
And the latest revelation in the technology industry is the Industry 4.
Yes.
So you have to be Industry 4 ready to be able to compete with all the best manufacturers in the country and around the globe.
Correct.
So of course our vision is there, and we are taking steps towards being an Industry 4 compliant manufacturing company. So towards that, we have already started installing those Industry 4 compliant hardware and software in all our machining units. And now recently in the expansion that we are coming up with these which have their optimizer software, which is basically has the hardware connected to all the components in the foundry, including the molding machine, the furnaces, the sand plant. So every byproduct or every sub process that we have in the foundry in the foundry manufacturing unit will be connected to a software, and which will be in turn displayed on a screen, available as a dashboard in a control panel. So we basically plan to have a control room in a foundry unit, wherein somebody from the management side can sit there and continuously monitor live on what is going on with the machines, what is going on with the manpower, what is going on with the sub products. So this is something which is not available earlier. Earlier industry used to operate on reporting basis, wherein the supervisor used to report to the manager next day morning, or maybe once in a week, once in a fortnight, and then the manager realizes, okay, this is what happened. Now that's not required. I can just sit at my home, just open my mobile and see what's happening in the plant, and just get a summary of everything, including the manufacturing output, the quality, the maintenance schedule. Everything is captured. So we have the vision of being Industry 4 ready, because this is the dire requirement. And apart from that, we are also looking into a lot of automation. So we already have a cell for one of our major customers, wherein we have put in robotic automation to reduce our dependency on manpower. So we have a robotic cell which gives out about 4,500 components per month. So the manpower which earlier required for this activity was 15 numbers, which has reduced to 3 numbers now. So this is also a dire need, because you need to reduce your dependence on unskilled labor, and give skilled labor a higher chance. So these are some of the things that we are currently implementing.
And startup itself is very challenging, and especially when it comes to manufacturing. So, and you both are founders, and you started this beautiful company, and it's a long journey. So what are the key learnings you feel? Let's say if somebody who want to start a company, a young mechanical engineer, or somebody who want to join this fraternity. So what are the key learnings you want to tell those budding startup enthusiasts? Because manufacturing startups are a capital intensive market. So what are your key learnings? So a founder who wants to start something, that these are the key, he can have that. Okay, these sort of boxes we should check to be, if not successful, at least we can do well when we start a manufacturing company. So learning from you both can say what are your learnings in this starting a company?
See, in terms of startup culture, we have seen in the last couple of decades, the startup culture has thrived in India. And you see more people wanting to be entrepreneurs than being in a job where they are engineers or doctors or whatever. So startup is a new, in terms of, you can say, the fad in the country. So I would like to advise youngsters who would actually like to start the company that when you're starting a company, your vision has not to be that I'm going to start a company because I want to sell the company for a few $1 million or $1 billion. I mean, the money has not to be the criteria. The money of any industry, of any work, is a byproduct.
Correct.
So unless you're passionate about something, don't go and start it. I mean, you need to be really passionate about the work you do and the area you're working in, the industry you're working in.
Correct.
So put your heart and soul into it. Only when you put a heart and soul, the other things will follow.
Correct.
Because I've spoken to a lot of youngsters, and the primary priority is that, okay, my friend now started a company, he sold it for $1 million, and that's the primary focus, and that's why you get into business.
Correct.
I mean, if that is a thing, then I mean you're bound to fail 9 out of 10 times. So only when you're truly passionate about something, you believe in the idea, and it comes from your heart. Only then you go ahead and do the job, and you will see the results with flying colors.
I mean, definitely. I mean, when it comes to starting off any business, risk-taking ability is one of the things. I mean, one definitely needs to take some kind of a calculated risk, and that is very important. And of course, as Sunny said, I mean, the passion is definitely required to drive the line. So these are some of the things what someone really needs to, go forward actually. At the same time, someone having a specially subject knowledge of a particular in the deep knowledge about their industry, how it functions, what are its quality functions, what are the different kind of processes and how best we can go forward in terms of optimization of such processes. Such skill levels are also basically required actually to go forward actually these things.
So don't run after valuation. Be a subject matter expert and be passionate of what you do is some of the key takeaways. So now, from Gokul Ferrocast Private Limited to the place where we are, Belgavi. Belgavi is, has a lot of ecosystem. The entrepreneurs are thriving, manufacturing is growing. So, can you let us know what is the mantra for success or secret sauce or something is in the water or air? The businesses here are thriving and it is contributing. If I may be wrong, that number two when it compared to the contribution of the taxes. After Bangalore, Belgavi is contributing the most taxes to the Karnataka government. So, what is the success or what is the secret sauce or ecosystem you have that the companies are doing well here in Belgavi? And secondly, it's an export heavy city where my data can be wrong, but I see most of the companies are exporting and targeting global customers. What is the idea behind exports and what is the ecosystem you have in the city?
So basically, one of the major advantages of Belgaum, it is geographically centrally located. If you see, it's neither in the South India, not North India, neither in Central India. It is at a very ideal location, very close to the top 3 metros in India. I mean, Pune is very close by, Mumbai is very close by, Bangalore is very close by. It's just a few hours journey from here. And to add to that, Belgaum being a tier 3 town, it has the expertise of all these metros because it spills over being so close by.
Yes.
But the advantage is the cost of running a business in Belgaum is much lower compared to the metros.
Yes.
I mean, in terms of the living cost, in terms of the employee cost, in terms of any other cost. And Belgaum has a primary advantage. And because it is centrally geographically located, I mean, that in turn adds to it. And Belgaum has had a history of a manufacturing unit from a long time. It's famous for its crankshaft industry, the hydraulic industry, and now casting industry is booming.
Okay.
Belgaum also has a company called Hindalco, which is a part of the Aditya Birla Group, which is one of the largest companies in India for aluminum products. We now have Vega helmets, which is coming up, which is the largest producer of helmets in the world.
Yes.
So in that ways, I mean, a lot of big industries, a lot of in their sectors coming up, a lot of varied industries coming up.
Correct.
To add to the geographical advantage, the cost of living advantage. All this adds up to the ecosystem in Belgaum, and then that's why we see the business community thriving here.
The cost of labor definitely is quite less as compared to the other towns and cities. Belgaum has a very specialty of having a very skilled labor.
Yes.
This is one of the very top-notch specialty. I mean, you go to any particular field, let it be machining or maybe any other, say, machining work or carpentry work or anything. The skill part of the labor is really, great here in Belgaum. So, and that is one of the reason which basically contributes to the quality of the products which are being basically made in Belgaum actually.
Okay.
So, this is one of the best advantage what Belgaum has.
And lastly, sir, we are doing initiative for Laghu Udyog Bharati IMS Foundation. So, and I see a very close connect with all the members, and it is my day 3. So, how is Laghu Udyog Bharati contributing, and working here in Belgavi?
Laghu Udyog Bharati, basically the very vision is primarily to basically foster the growth of MSME sector actually. So when Laghu Udyog Bharati in Belgaum as well as outside, basically they have various platforms. Such platforms basically they help the entrepreneurs to come together, impart some kind of a right knowledge connected to the particular subjects, and then ensure that there is the right kind of a growth for them actually. And they, like for example, IMS is a wonderful platform wherein we have various shows or various kind of verticals like aerospace, defense, EVs, drones. And then there is a collaboration, there is the JVs, then even you can find investor into it. So such wonderful platforms are already there, available with Laghu Udyog Bharati. So it's up to the people where they can really catch hold of or grab such kind of wonderful opportunities. Apart from that, Laghu Udyog Bharati is also focused on, industry is one part, but apart from that, empowering the women. That is one of the very big function. As at the same time, bringing the villagers, especially the artisans and villagers, to a particular platform and bring them to international levels. So Belgaum, Laghu Udyog Bharati, a couple of years had a very major flagship event of Gram Shilpi, wherein close to around 300 plus artisans had come here. They were given all free facility to, show their products, everything, and such all artisans were also given the artisan cards. So, these are some of the efforts what Laghu Udyog Bharati is continuing to do with, the entire levels of society to, bring them up, especially, and it's more focusing on the MSME sector actually.
Thank you, Sunny ji. Thank you, Nitin ji.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, do check out Gokul Ferrocast Private Limited website to know more about the company, their latest technology trends, and it was great meeting you.
Thank you
sir.
so much.
And looking forward to see you sometime in Bangalore.
Sure.
Thank you.